What's good, y'all? Shagar Makar. Welcome back to my channel. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, and every subscriber helps. Over here on this channel, we talk about the NBA daily. So if you enjoy the NBA as much as I do, please subscribe. And y'all know what this video is about already. James Harden just got traded to the Brooklyn Nets, and the Brooklyn Nets got to keep Kyrie Irving. The Brooklyn Nets got to keep Kyrie Irving. So now the Brooklyn Nets have a big three of James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant. That's just insane to me to even think about because when you think about the offensive firepower that all three of those guys have, the Nets are going to be a very scary team in the regular season and the playoffs, and most likely the finals now. Now I don't want to get too carried out of hand because this is an initial reaction, but the Brooklyn Nets, I'm definitely scared of them, moving forward because in theory, you would think that the defense wouldn't be so amazing with these three in the starting lineup, but who are you gonna guard? You can't double anybody now. You have to worry about three premier scorers in one lineup now. So they traded Caris LeVert, they traded Jared Allen, they traded a couple dudes like nobody of too much importance. Spencer Dinwiddie got injured, so they didn't have to trade him. So let's think about next year when he comes back. So now you have Spencer Dinwiddie, KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. That's just insane to me. And everybody knew this Harden trade was gonna happen. Since last night, a reporter asked James Harden, do you think you can stay here? And James Harden's just like, I've done everything I can. I don't think the situation can be fixed. And you got John Wall saying, certain guys aren't buying in. Me and James Harden relationship is rocky. So the pressure was on Houston to make a move, immediately, and they finally did. And they traded uh, 8 first round picks. They got 8 first round picks, from the Nets in this deal. 4 first rounders and 4 pick swaps. So that's an all time pick trade right now. And they just traded Caris LeVert for Victor Oladipo, which I think is a solid move. But I do think that the best deal on the table was for Ben Simmons. But this is a pretty good consolation deal because if I can get James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant on the same team, I'm doing that 10 times out of 10. I'm not even gonna lie. But I don't even have the words for this trade. It's just gonna be so really exciting. And this move right here should entice Kyrie Irving to come back and actually play because him sitting out all these games is just ridiculous. But now even from last night, KD had the ball out against the Nuggets. If James Harden is there, the pressure is off of KD a little bit more, and they're gonna feast on teams with bad defenses, like especially the Nuggets. Now can the Nets make the finals with this roster? 1,000% they can make the finals with this roster. I want to see them get moves like I want to see them make the moves like getting Rondae Hollis Jefferson, Michael Kidd Gilchrist. I want to see them get another wing defender. And now that Allen is gone, DeAndre Jordan is probably gonna be the starting center. So maybe you can find somebody better than DeAndre Jordan, so you can still have him come off the bench. But all in all, this is just an amazing trade, and I'm just really, as a basketball fan, I'm really excited because I'm a Bulls fan, so I don't have a say in this. My team's not contending. My team is not the Lakers, Clippers, Bucks, none of that. But I do think that this Nets team would give the Bucks huge issues because this Nets team would give everybody issues because how are you going to guard Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving all at once? If they all taking turns, imagine a pick and roll with KD and Kyrie. Imagine a pick and roll with Harden and KD. Like, just imagine all the offensive sets that Steve Nash can run now. Like, so I imagine if Steve Nash, has the brain, which he definitely does have the point guard mind, but has the brain to use these guys in a fully motioned offense, it's gonna, it's gonna give defenses nightmares. Even the best defenses in the NBA. So this trade is just insane to me. Like, I still don't believe it happened. Like, I'm still in shock about it because you would think that Houston would not settle for, Caris LeVert, but it was always known that for Houston to, settle for a package like that, it would have to be in a 3-team deal so they can, recoup some of those assets. Because honestly, James Harden for Caris LeVert and Jared Allen is not a good deal. And even though they're giving you 8 picks, it's still not a good deal. But yeah, they maximize what they could possibly get out of a Harden trade, and it's just insane to me. And I think an underrated factor in this is the OKC Thunder's play in all this. They're saying all this because OKC has Houston's first round pick next year. If Houston does not make the playoffs and they get a lottery pick, whatever first round pick Houston gets goes to OKC. Now let's look at Houston's lineup. They got Victor Oladipo now, John Wall. They still got Daniel House. They still got PJ Tucker. They still got Christian Wood. They got DeMarcus Cousins. Is that team a playoff team in the Western Conference? I honestly don't know. I highly doubt it. they might just be a playing team, and one of the playing teams is gonna lose in the playing because Victor Oladipo and John Wall doesn't really excite me that much, as an NBA backcourt in a competitive Western Conference, and it's just I think that OKC is going to benefit a lot from this trade, and I feel like that's part of the trade that I think should not go unnoticed. But James Harden is on the Brooklyn Nets now. He finally has an opportunity to win a ring, and he went about it in a horrible way. Going to the strip club, going to his friend's birthday dinner, going to all kinds of things, just doing whatever he wanted. Showing up late to practice, showing up late to training camp. But at the end of the day, he deserves to have a real shot to win a championship. He gave Houston everything he could. He gave Houston everything that he could possibly muster up. Houston tried to, pair him with Chris Paul. He didn't like that. They paired him up, with Russell Westbrook. He didn't like that either. They give him John Wall. And then when they traded for John Wall, the writing was on the wall. No pun intended, but the writing was on the wall already because why would James Harden want to go from playing from Westbrook and Chris Paul to, a fresh Achilles injury John Wall? It just doesn't really make any sense for the, long-term movement. And last night, it all came to a head. It finally boiled over. James Harden is saying, this isn't fixable. He said, Houston, there's no chance that I'm staying here. I don't want to be here anymore. I've done everything I can. And I'm excited, as a New York native, I can jack the Brooklyn Nets now. I can definitely be happy about the Brooklyn Nets, but I'm not going to be a bandwagon. I'm not going to do that. But this is an amazing trade, and I'm just excited to see how this works. Hopefully, they find, hopefully Harden, Kyrie, and KD can, find a way to mesh on offense all at once. And if they can all get on the same, wavelength on offense, I'm very, very scared of this Brooklyn Nets team in the playoffs. And I give them a shot to win the championship. I do think that the Lakers are an amazing defensive team, and I do think that the Lakers, would be the most poised to beat, the Brooklyn Nets. But honestly, I still can't wrap my mind around guarding Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving all on the same lineup. I still cannot wrap my mind around that. And I want to see them, like I said earlier, make some moves around the trade deadline, get some defense into that lineup, because it's just going to be insane. Now, their bench is probably a little sus right now, but when you have three of the best scorers of all time, well, two of the best scorers of all time, I don't think Kyrie's, one of the best scorers of all time, but he is one of the best scorers of all time, I ain't going to lie. But when you can find a way to, always have one of those guys on the court at once, that's just insane to me. But yeah, if you see in this video, thank you. And let me know what you think about this trade in the comments, you know what I'm saying? But if you see in this video, thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.